Well, there you are. Here I am, and we're on another road trip. The destination doesn't matter for this road trip. In fact, I'm not even going to tell you, because that's not the point. And the point of this video is simply to talk about how much I love road trips and why. Why do I love road trips so much? I've been across the country a number of times and back. I road tripped all the way around Iceland, and here we are again. I wanted to make this video going east, because we were in the middle of trying to outrun the storm of the century, apparently. I do have some footage from that trip. I may make a short video with it, I'm not sure yet. So this is technically take 2 of this video. I try to not do that if I can help it. But here we are. This is not the video I wanted to make, it's the video I get to make. And that's fine. The video I wanted to make was recording myself at rest stops along the way. The video I get to make is recording myself here at this rest stop on the last day of our journey. But I want to move on to the point of this video. Why do I love road trips? Well, reason number 1, especially going west, is the freedom. As you continue to go west, things open up more and more, becomes flatter and flatter, and you're just enveloped by vast landscapes. You can get lost in a picture, really. It feels like driving through a picture. There's just something so calming about looking out over this ocean of grass. Reason number 2 that I love road trips, in the same vein, is that you can just drive. You're just driving through faceless, nameless places, and you're just some faceless, nameless person. We don't owe anything to the place doesn't owe anything to us, and we can just be. There's no responsibilities, no regulations, no roles, nothing. It's just random people in random places, and we're all existing on the road together. I'm a stranger in the world and a stranger to the world when we're on the road. You get to exist in it, but at arm's length. Brings me to my next reason. I love going to bed one night in one place and in a completely different part of the country the next night. Being on the road really allows you to understand the country like you might not have before. You really get to intimately know and understand the intricacies, the subtleties, how all of these roads connect, how all of these states connect, and what they look like together. That can often get lost when we're stationary, when we're static in one point. We don't understand how things connect, and we get caught up in this state or that state, and we don't realize we're all part of the same thing. So in the same way that the aloneness provides freedom, it allows you to be a stranger in the world, it allows you also to deeply connect with these places in a way that you probably never have before. The next reason I love road trips is the fact that while I'm on a road trip, I am completely and entirely engaged in the act of doing. All there is driving. All there is the road, and I'm entirely engaged with it. You are just stuck, for lack of a better word. You're stuck on the road. You have to engage with the road. You have to engage with the traveling, the doing, the experiencing. There's no way out, just to keep going forward, to get to your destination. So to be completely absorbed by the act of doing is by far my favorite thing about road trips. Now sometimes that means completely engaged in the sucky things too. Like the entire drive east was for us a few weeks ago. Through that blizzard, it was miserable. But the sucky parts count. The sucky parts are part of it. And for better or worse, you are completely engaged in doing all moments, all things. And that's what I love. I love that you cannot escape the duality of a road trip. It's the wonderful things and the sucky things. No road trip is ever ideal. No road trip has ever gone to plan. I love the fact that you have to make decisions in the moment. That you have to make a plan B and execute a plan B and then see what plan C probably is. Actively engaged in doing and inseparable from it. Something that can be hard to find in daily life is mandatory and necessary on the road. The last thing I'll say to wrap it all up is this thing that I've recently coined. I guess I coined it. I coined it to myself, if no one else. I like to call it the finding out. This summarizes everything that I love about road trips. So what is the finding out? Well, the finding out is exactly what it sounds like. Finding out what it's like to be on the road. Finding out what it's like to sell your car to buy bus tickets home from Oklahoma. Finding out what it's like to chase the Texas sun all the way across the largest state. Finding out what it's like to have to change a tire at midnight in a snowstorm in Colorado. Finding out what it's like to face your fears on Angel's Landing. Finding out is the quintessential human experience. You could argue that's why we're here. Just to find out, to experience, to do, to learn. And there's no better way to find out than on a road trip. Because every moment of that active engagement, whether it be good or bad, you're finding out. You're finding out what Kansas looks like. You're finding out how the sun sets later on the west side of a time zone than on the east side of a time zone. And how that you probably didn't plan for that, and now your last hike of the day is ruined. Or you're finding out how these miraculous things all work together to create a beautiful, wonderful experience. There really is no replacement for finding out. So that's it. That's my point, for this video at least. Road trips are amazing because you cannot escape the act of doing, and in doing that, you're finding out all the time. Good, bad, right, wrong, indifferent, you're finding something out. So that's it. I wanted to make this video to inspire you to maybe take a trip. Maybe take a road trip and see what it's like. Especially if you've never done one before. But I think more broadly what I want to do as we go into the new year is just place an emphasis on finding out. Let's make this the year we find out without judgment. So as we go into the new year, let's find out. Let's find out what it's like. What is 2023 going to be like? I have no idea. But we get to find out. So whether or not I've inspired you to go on a road trip doesn't really matter. You don't have to go on a road trip to find out. Unless you want to find out what a road trip is like, then you should probably go on one. But I've got nothing else. So I'll see you in the next one.